Welcome to the Resistance, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a look at two trades today. We got AUB and SDR. AUB is a new trade and SDR is from the other day. We talked about it yesterday and the day before, and I will do just a short recap just so you guys don't have to go back and watch. We bought at $4 here once it broke this high in the past, came back, retested it. We bought VWAP, didn't work out. It was only a starter position anyway. The idea was to size on if it was swinging back up. It didn't, so we didn't add on. We got to add on at 380 roughly. That's probably like the average for that day was 380. And the idea was to stop out at 375 and lower if it closed at that price for that day, right? But you can see it closed somewhere around 385, I think it was. So it ended up closing quite nice relative for that day yesterday. And then today was an absolute moonshot. Intraday, it was a 13% rally. From this 380 position, it was a 15% rally. So absolutely monstrous result for just one single day on a stock with no news. So just to show you guys, this is what the chart looks like. Ignore these two sort of lines up here. I was just looking at sort of price, take profit targets. I did take half profits today at $4.26, which is pretty much where it closed today, actually. And I'll talk you through that because I know some of you might be like, well, it's a swing trade. Why are you just taking it for one day? I have a bit of a rule where if a swing trade goes 10% or higher, I take profits, whether it's 20, 25%, 30%, or 50. It's usually one of those three numbers. And it's just a way to lock in profit because a lot of the times when you move so strong on a stock, it tends to pull back to a key level, like in this case, it'd be something like $4 or $4.05 or something like that. Maybe even retesting yesterday or a previous high, in this case, 414. But you know, if it pulls, I usually put that money back in should it retest a significant level. Like I wouldn't want to mine a level like this 414. I wouldn't want to add on back at VWAP for intraday. I would want something like this $4 level because again, I would want a major support level, and I would consider this, the break of this, a major support level now. I wouldn't want to add back on, you know, back down here or something crazy like that. That's too far gone. So this is the next major level for SDR. Is around this $4.03 level. So I would have added it back on there, but that's fine. You know, in hindsight, I would rather have not taken off that much, maybe like 25, 30% instead. And I go back to, of course, because it closed nicely, and I go back to IGV, which is the ETF, and I'll bring up the daily chart for this one and zoom out, and you guys can see relative to SDR what it looks like. Just pay attention to like the peaks, the troughs, and the troughs here, and you know the peak here and all that. So just watch how big of a gap there is from there to there, and you know there to there. It's basically on an uptrend. And it's bouncing, and then you got SDR, which is just trading the equivalent of like down here, you know, relative to the ETF. So let's have a look back at SDR so you guys can see. Yeah, so you can see it's trading relative to that ETF. It's trading a lot lower. Now, you know, I'm sure there are fundamental reasons why, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a big bounce back, and that's what we were trading. We were trading this idea of a big bounce back, and that's what we're getting. Profit target, I'm looking at this sort of pivot here. It sort of lines up with that pivot, a bit of a gap here. So anywhere between 470, let's call it 475 to 488. You would have seen in my other videos, 488 was kind of a level that I was that I already had drawn, and that was really this gap here and this pivot here. So you know, anywhere between these two levels is where I will take the rest of the profit off. And again, this is assuming that the stock doesn't just randomly start collapsing. And you know, there's a whole bunch of scenarios, but this is the plan, right? This is my absolute end game goal, is close out in this range, or add on back here at around $4 at support should it come off with half the position that I already sold out of. So those are the two ideas that I have, and risk management will be around, let's call it 390 for a complete stop out. I don't see this. Yeah, I think 100% by 390 it's going to stop out everything, and I'll still be well in profit for this. So because we locked out half of 426, you know, once it hits 10%, I just got to lock in that profit, and that's it. That's just a rule I have. I've seen it too many times where it does a big move and then it does a big pullback as a result, and then it kind of just moves later on. So that's SDR in a nutshell. And again, I'm so glad that this is a daily series. Like I said in my last video yesterday, I'm so glad you guys got to see the calls before they happen and none of this hindsight shit. AUB is the next stock that we've taken. I know nothing about this stock. I don't know what sector it is. I don't know anything about it. They could sell muffins and cupcakes for all I care. So what we have here is just a massive uptrending stock. So this is like the long-term view, right? So we're looking at the last 5 years. Big uptrend. You can see it's you know, a bit rough at the moment. Bit rough, broken down, coming back up. Now, this is clearly a level, right? Very, very clearly a resistance level. So welcome to the resistance, ladies and gentlemen. We want to punch through it. That would just be lovely. So, because this is a major resistance level, what can and does often happen, and let me just draw it out for you guys, is a stock, when it punches down, it does tend to come back to retest and then follow through to the downside. So I want to keep that very much in mind, and this is why this is going to be a very, very, very tight trade. There is no... I'm going to minimize risk on this as much as possible. So I'll tell you about my entry and why I entered. Firstly, you can already see I got some markings on here. I was just plottering, but we got a low here, a higher low, and hopefully that is also a higher low. And then we also have a high, higher high, and even higher high. And hopefully the idea is that this now punches through to form a higher high and then eventually a higher low. Something to that effect. Right? That's... I'm not predicting anything here. I'm just showing you that this is a trend reversal. Nothing more, nothing less. That is what this is a trend reversal. And the goal is to punch through this resistance level in order to sustain this momentum. Otherwise, it's going to go sideways or down. Now, to keep it tight, I would want this stock to go above yesterday's trading highs, right? Same concept. I want higher lows, higher highs, but I'm doing it at a much shorter time frame. Let's take a look at the hourly. And actually maybe the 15-minute chart, maybe a little bit cleaner. I'm not too big of a fan of these kind of trend lines here, but you know, it's nice that it breaks. So it closes higher. The entry was, as it was consolidating here, you guys see it punched up, pulled back, started consolidating at around 28.50, and that's where we started adding on. We started like just building a position, few hundred shares at a time, few hundred shares, 100, 150, 100, 150, just kept adding slowly, and didn't want to trigger any bots or anything to just suddenly pop to the upside, so just kept accumulating for a few minutes, and then it sort of wicks down, and a part of me was like, I really should wait at VWAP, but I really like this setup, so I paid the extra, what is that, extra 8 cents, fuck, whatever, what's 8 cents on this stock? Nothing. And then it closed quite nicely. It just sort of broke into, higher highs for the day and closed quite nicely. So as long as it closed above this 28.50, 28.55 level, it was nice. It's nice. It might trigger some alerts for bigger fish in the ocean, right? That would be nice. So I would want to see it carry on, and I absolutely would not, under any circumstances, want to see it below 27.90. That is an absolute cut zone for me. So that is the risk I'm willing to take on this. And again, this is assuming that there's no gap down. I mean, we have no control over this. So 28.51 average, looking to cut at around 2.2%, 2.25. Yeah, it'll be nice to start cutting. I think by this level here at exactly 27.91. I mean, if it touches it, it's probably going to break down anyway. Because like I mentioned about the resistance, how it sort of retests and then comes off. I think once it hits this level at 27.90, it'll come off anyway. But I might give it an extra couple cents let's call it 2.3. Let's call it 2.3 is when we're going to start cutting at an absolute bare minimum, and probably 280, so 2.5, something like that. So we'll call it around 2.3, 2.35% risk, just to be overly pedantic about the numbers here. So that is the risk, and the reward from 28.50 for me is around this $30 level. It'll probably just be bang on maybe $29.99, something like that. So the reward will be around 5%. Now, I can't tell you how much I'm going to close out. Is it going to be 25%, 30%, 50%? I don't know. That is very relative to how strong this stock moves. I mean, if it gets there by tomorrow, I'll 100% take off like probably 50%, because that would be a strong move. But shit, I don't want to say that. I really don't know. Fuck. I'm just thinking out loud as I haven't planned to take profit, because the take profit doesn't really bother me too much. It's the risk management that really I have to nail. The take profit just comes naturally. I mean, I've probably said this several times before, but when people ask me, oh, where's the take profit? Hell, look at my last video yesterday, and look at the comment section. There's some guy panicking, like, when are you going to take profit? How much did you buy? When are you going to take profit? I don't fucking care. Like, it doesn't matter. Risk and managing losses is what matters, because if you manage the loss, profit will come naturally anyway, as long as you're not making retard trades. Like, as long as you're doing like 1-to-1 or 1.5-to-1 or something like that, you're not risking $10 to make one. As long as you're not a total fucking moron, capital should increase over time, right? That's the way I look at it anyway. I just want to say, not financial advice, by the way. None of this. This is all education and entertainment purposes only. So I hope none of you copy my trades. Don't do it. Don't do it. ASIC will be on to both of us. So yeah. So that is the first target, mind you. Second target. I really would like to see this kind of midpoint inside here. I really don't want to try and chase the top of 32. 32 is kind of a level. 32. I think 31.50 would be comfortable to get to. Or maybe 31.45, just below 31.50 would kind of be the goal for me. 31 to 31.50. I don't think 32 would be worth it. And again, this is totally dependent on how it trades in the coming days, right? I don't know if it gets there tomorrow. I don't know if it gets there the day after. Would I like it to do what SDR does? Abso-fucking-lutely. If I can get these 20% plays like PLS in just 2 or 3 days, fucking beautiful. So from 28.51 average, let's call it 31. Let's call it 31.45 ideally. So that'll be 10%. So yeah, risking 2.3% to make 5.2 and 10.2. So maybe like 7.5 average. Depends how much I take off. If I take off half, but well, let's call it something like that. Yeah. 3-to-1, something like that. I don't know. Well, the thing is, we'll revisit this basically every day anyway. So this is going to update as we go on every day. So every 7 o'clock, you'll see an update. All right, guys. Have a good one. I hope this didn't drag out too long. Peace.